Need to create the recipe site in no time? You can do that within WordPress and a great theme called Cookely. My name is JP and welcome back to Websites for Beginners. And in this overview, review / tutorial, we're going to dive into Cookely from WPZoom. To follow along and learn more about this theme, follow the link in the description below. This is not a full tutorial. I'm just going to scratch the surface of what you can do with this theme. But just in that short little time, you're going to see that you can take a theme like Cookely and set up a recipe site in absolutely no time. Remember to give us a like for the effort and subscribe, and then let's get cracking with Cookely. Cookely is a pro theme, and whenever you see the word pro, it means you're going to pay something. Good things in life aren't free. And this theme is brought to you by WPZoom. They have a number of other themes that you can go check out. Follow the link in the description below. As you get on their page, you'll see Cookely appears here, a very popular theme from theirs. And you select it and you can go through the features. Whenever I look at something like this that I personally promote, it is whether it is ready to go for a specific group of people. And remember, with this, your focus is always going to be people who want to have a recipe website. And that's actually pretty common at this moment. The one thing that I do look out for a lot nowadays is how responsive that theme is. It's super important. Think of people in a kitchen. They always have their mobile device with them. They're probably going to access this on a tablet or a mobile. They're not going to bring their laptop in anymore. So that's pretty important for that. My focus, of course, here is, can we as beginners download this, install it, and make it work with the least amount of friction and do that easily? First of all, this video is going to help you to do that. And secondly, I think you're going to manage it. Like I've mentioned, this is for people looking for that ready-made site. And with the recipe card add-on to this, perfect. If you have a client, if you're making for clients and somebody comes to you and says, I really need a recipe word site, don't go design the thing from scratch. Perfect solution. And you can have a look here at examples of actual customers who are using it. Gives you a good idea of how a theme can be customized. It looks the same, yet it doesn't. Each one to their own. And then finally have a look at the pricing. You can go for an annual subscription or a lifetime. There is also this option that you can go for all themes packages, and that will give you access to all the themes as well as the plugins. When you sign up for it, you have a 14 days money back guarantee. But again, just watch this video and decide whether this is the thing for you or not. I will go to my account so you just can see how the account section looks. And then under my downloads, I have the all access pass. I'll scroll down until I find Cookely. And there we go, download. What you will need to do before you can really work with it is to come back later and get your license key. And the zip file, this is our little theme zip, has downloaded in no time. Let's log into WordPress and I'll just do a quick cleanup. When I work with pre-made templates or starter kits, one of the things I take control of is just making sure everything is clean and ready beforehand, because themes and templates often do find it a little bit hicky if there is already a post or some content there. It's supposed to work in unison, but just because this is a demo video, I think it's good that we just go through that. And those are my 4 P's and my S. So I'll go to my posts and I'll delete this quickly here from Hello World. And we can go into trash and clean that out as well. And you can skip this part if you're not interested in. Pages, the standard pages need to go. And we trash that as well. And then I jump over into my settings and I'll go to general, and let's give this site a name. Firstly, we will call it Cookely, best recipes on the internet. And then you can make changes here if you need to. I'll go ahead and I'll change the site language. I do this every time, even though there's so little difference between English, South Africa, and the rest. I just do it so you understand that if you have a native language that you would like the user interface of WordPress to be in, you've got that option. And change the time zone. This is actually one thing many people overlook. Remember, when you are posting things like recipe cards that you'll be posting, it does take into consideration the time you post it. So it's good to set up your time zone as well. Save the changes. And my 3Ps is post, pages, and plugins. I'm skipping plugins at this moment. And then S, and then another P is our permalinks. So under settings, permalinks, and I'll put it here on post name and save changes. Now that we have cleaned up and set up WordPress, that was under 1 minute, let's go ahead and install Cookely. Remember, Cookely is a theme. So for that, we go to Appearance. It will open up themes for us, and we click on Add New. And this one, we're going to click on Upload. I'll go here to where I download it, drag and drop it, and then click on Install Now. And here the magic begins. Installation completed. I can go ahead and activate. Just note that because I have a few plugins installed, that WordPress has also updated my translations for the English South Africa. That is the ZA you see there. Click on Activate. And I'll close this download bar at the bottom. And let's see what we have here. Essentially, you're going to install a few plugins, and then essentially number 2, you're going to add the license key. I think the best way to start this is start with the license key. Go back to WPZoom, get your license key under this tab, paste it here in license key, activate it, and then you will see it says your license key is active, expires if you have an annual subscription. If you don't, if it's permanent, then you're going to have it there forever and ever. We have a few options here. Congratulations, you have just installed Cookely. Please take the theme tour. So next, let's see what it says to us. Install recommended plugins. Okay. Next, let's see what's next up. Using the live customizer. Great. That is what you need to do. I think nothing big here that you have to go through. Let's go and just begin installing the plugins. So this theme requires the following plugin. This is the recipe card blocks, which is a definite yes, you need that. So you do need to install it. And then this theme recommends the following plugins. And because the theme uses these plugins in the demo, which we will be using as well, we're going to install all of them. Click on Begin installing the plugins. Select them all. Select Install and click Apply. Now that it has been installed, remember it still needs to be activated. And you have this little quick link here at the bottom, return to required plugins installer. Select. From here, select to activate. Select them all and then click on Activate. Let's get into bringing in the demo content. Click here on WPZoom in the navigation sidebar on the left. And then under this admin area, we go to Import, Export, and then you have the option for demo content. Select that, and you get maybe a few warnings here. If it doesn't work for you, you need to speak to your host. I got those little red warnings. It worked out okay for me. So let's do it again. Load demo content, and this will bring in everything. I like working with that because it really gives me an idea of how the developers envisioned how this should work. Right, and here we begin. I'm going to not even touch the advanced settings. Cookely has been successfully imported, right? And then we click on next step. Regenerate thumbnails. This is all about bringing in those images, the stock images, and we want to do that. So we're going to click on regenerate thumbnails. This will take some time. I saw it's taking the images from Unsplash, so it's downsizing the images, then make it fit. So give yourself a cup of coffee or a nice cup of tea, regenerate thumbnails. Thumbnails have been successfully regenerated. Next step, load default widget settings. A lot of templates depend a lot on widgets, and WPZoom adds a lot of their own widgets to this template and theme. So yes, we're going to load the default widgets, and then we'll make those little bit of changes to the settings afterwards. That one was pretty quick. Let's click on next step. Now, this is going to be maybe a little bit overwhelming, but there are actually a few cues. We are assigning the positions of the menus. The menus have been created. I wish this was actually done automatically because it's a demo site, but you will see top menu, we're going to select top, and oops, let's do it again. Main menu, we're going to select main. Mobile menu, I'm going to select main. And then for footer, and recipe index. And this will just use all of those menus created, and we click on next step. Configure what front page display. So there is a little cue here. This theme works best when displaying your latest post on the front page. When you set your page for when visitors come to your site, when they type in your address, you usually choose to show a home page that you've created within the Gutenberg editor or within a page builder like Brizy. But the default setting is actually your latest post. Because remember, WordPress started as a blogging site and then you brought in custom post types. And in this case, this is made to be such a website. What you want on the front is your recipes from the get-go with a sidebar, maybe a little bit of mumbo jumbo there, but you don't want an about section, you don't want a home page. The purpose of this site is boom, get into the recipes and start baking, baby. So you leave it on your latest posts and select next step. Here is the infamous question, do I install a child theme or not? If you're not sure what a child theme is, don't worry. But in this case, I'm going to say go ahead and install a child theme. I mean, if you break it, you just go download a new version from your account and we are done. This theme has been successfully configured. Let's close out. And we have a few updates here, and you do see that here under the demo importer history, they give you the option to erase the content later if you do wish to do so. Let's go have a look at what we've actually imported, because 100% it's not going to look like the demo. I'll go to the front end. And we see there is our header, top header, main menu. We have a nice search box. We have a subscribe. I think that's MailChimp up there. That is the top menu. This is the main menu. And then we have this section here, and there's an open space. This is often what happens when you bring in demo content. We're going to fix that. I'll show you how. Subscribe to our newsletter. Here's a nice sidebar, a little bit more about yourself, all right? And then you have the most viewed recipes, which are blogs, essentially. New recipes, again, social widgets, categories, appetizer. Also have to fix this one. And then very nice, here you go, here's your recipes. And this is what you want for a blogging site. I'm going to use the word blogging or for a post site, but of course this is a recipe site. Lovely. And then it goes to the bottom, you have pagination, new recipes appear here, and then you have your footer section with a few more things. And then there is Instagram widget misconfigured. And the reason it's misconfigured is because you haven't put your Instagram details there yet, so it doesn't display anything. Don't worry, this doesn't display on the front end for the visitor, or rather doesn't display for the visitor, it's displaying only here on the front end as you are working with it. And you can go through all of these other pages within it. Let's go and select About so you just can see it. And this is where you can make changes to it the way you want. This is, of course, built within the WordPress editor. Here, if you want to bring in your own page builder or your own add-on, the sky's the limit. Go back into WordPress. Let's just have a quick look at what has happened in the back. Under posts, you're going to see we have a number of posts. And this is where the recipes are generated currently. Then for pages, we have quite a number of pages. And then all of these plugins that have been installed that are also widgets, like the Instagram widget, recipe cards. We have WP forms. If you don't like it, you switch it out with a form builder of your choice. And you can look under plugins, quite a number that have been installed here to give you this power. Back to the front end, and now let's start making changes to this page. I'll go to Customize and click on that up in the WordPress toolbar. And making it easy to work and change out the stuff here, especially on your homepage, is that you can simply hover over the content on the page and this blue label appears. Here you click on it and it takes you right into the customizer where you need to go. So it gives you a good idea of what you are displaying. Now, the idea of these three are you choose this. You choose what you want to display here. You take control over it, or it's going to dynamically draw it from post, but each one has to be set separately. So you can see this one is set to appetizers, and then it's going to draw it from desserts, and you take number of posts 1, and you can set the offset here. And I'll do that with this empty one here. Same for this one. This one is taking it from pasta and soups. I'm not sure why the title and the category is so different, but let's click on this empty one and we do our own. So currently there's a meat category that's empty. So let's go ahead and we can choose salads. That's something different. And then it's going to update here and give us a salad recipe. Lovely. And then the title, I would probably call it salads, you know, desserts, unless you eat salad for dessert, could be. But then also to give you the power over which offset you want to use here, I'm going to say skip 1, the first. So it should update and it should give us the second salad. Lovely. So these work perfectly. And then you have the control down here, display category name. You can choose to display any of these other meta information as well. So I just activated display date and there's the date. But remember, you have to go and set it for all of them. Let's leave it as well. You've got the excerpt. This is a standard post generator. Very nicely done. And the template determines that it appears here at the top. What I'll do, let's work from the top. So here in the top where you have this area with the top, if you click on it, it gives you these menu settings, which we did in the setup wizard at the beginning. Let's change our name. So currently it's called Cookly, but you don't want to be called Cookly. You want to be called Recipe Joe, right? And there you go. And then you have a tagline, best recipes on the internet, right? So the site title, now we've changed it. Originally we put it on Cookly, but here we've changed it. And there we have all of that. And you can upload your favicon here, which I don't have in this case. To the menus, we don't want to make changes. And as we scroll down, this is the whole purpose of a template like this. You don't really want to make any changes here. You can go in and change the categories where you want to, but you are actually essentially very happy and satisfied with what you got here. Now I saw the appetizers did not generate an image. So this image box that is brought in there for you within the widget sidebar, click on that and you will see an image appears here. Change out this image. It's not working, so I'll click remove, or you can just simply click on change, and then I will say no image selected, change image, and we go into the media library and just choose an image here from what we currently have. Ooh, donuts. Are these donuts? What are they? They look so yummy, mommy. Okay, we loaded this image. Page just need a quick refresh and scroll down, and there we go. Okay, so this is probably not an appetizer. This is more like a dessert. But guess what? You can change the title. Remember, this is a sidebar. This is a widget. You can bring in more. So excellent for the image box that you can bring in there. Here you can click on add a widget and look here at the Instagram, MailChimp, and where is social? Here we go. Where image box. So let's click on the image box and you see I bring in a second one. So let's call this one soups and select an image. Where are our soups? Soup, soupity soup. I remember there are 3 soups. Now I can only see 1. We can blend any of these and they will become a soup. Not funny. All right, let's have a look down here. Let's not lose sight. Great. Ah, nicely done. Ooh, you see how we're building this out? Yeah, take full control. Great. So look at all those widgets that WPZoom gives you. They really want to make this kind of blogging site a go-to for you and an easy way to do that. And that's how you change out the content. Now, for your little author bio, you will see here you can say in what this is all about. Change your name there to Joe Spaghetti, and then add your email there, a profile picture, the size, a little bit about yourself. So where is this profile picture coming from? It would be nice if you could have uploaded just an image here, but it takes it from gravatar.com. If you've been using WordPress for ages, then you definitely have a Gravatar. But if you are new, you probably don't have one yet. Just go to Gravatar, sign up, and then profile will come from there. Great options for all of these sidebars. Let's click back and go all the way to the beginning of our customizer, because there's quite a number of things that you need to do here. And I recommend you start at the top and you work your way down. So the site identity, nothing that you need to do here, except you can load up a logo as well as a site icon. Post options, homepage posts, and here you have your layout options. I usually get very excited about this. What are the developers giving me? Here you can disable the sidebar. I do like for this kind of site, the sidebar to be on. And this is your grid layout or the list layout of your posts on the home page. And now you will see it is put in a grid. I also like this one a lot. Here is your aspect ratio for your featured image. Let's put it in landscape. That would be something like a 16:9 aspect ratio. And then the content format. You have an excerpt, or do you want the full content? I'm not entirely sure about the full content, but there may be a reason why you want to bring in the full content. You see? Very, very long. And that is for your main one. Okay, I can see that working very nicely. If you do go for the excerpt, you have a control over how long that excerpt is here at the top. So that's that one. Here is your metadata reorder and activate or deactivate. That is a simple one to change these out. From our homepage post, you have your archive posts, you have your single posts. Let's go to a single post by clicking on any of these. And then select single posts. And what you have here is the reorder of your metadata and content. And this is bringing in the style and the content from recipe cards block. Go back, change out the font that you want to use. Currently it's on Rubik. Let's go and change it out so you can see how that is done. And I'll go for Railway. Select Railway, and the text updates very quickly. 16 is fine. And just to show you how quickly that was done. Let's go back to body. And your headings is set to Esteban. Let's also change this one. And we'll put it on Poppins. Is that a good choice? I just want to change it. Not bad. Not sure if Poppins and Railway go together. But there we go. Just to show you how to make those changes. And then you have so much control over the rest of the fonts that you want to send here. Jump to color scheme. So jump over colors and go to color scheme. And this is how these colors will display. You are given 5 color schemes to choose from, the default. Then you go for light blue, green, and of course the others, red and cherry. I got to cherry and I really liked how this looked. Felt very professional to me, like I'm in some kind of bistro, la-di-da, very high classy. And then you have colors, but this is not colors for things like your background. Remember, this is a theme. You have color themes. They are locked in. The colors you will have here is for specific areas. So if you have, for example, your site title and you want to change that color, you'll do that over here. Let's go back. Header options like show top navigation menu. You can go through these settings and choose what works for you. And the rest, they are all self-explanatory. As I've mentioned before, you don't want to mess too much with this. What you are interested in is how to set up recipes. Let's publish our work and save it so we don't lose all of these changes that we've made, and have a quick look at what we need to do to finish this up. Now, to work with the recipes and bring that in, check out our recipe tutorials here on Websites for Beginners on how to do that within the recipe card block. But you can also go here to recipe cards on the left, select it, and then you have all your recipes that appear down here. There's one easy cinnamon rolls. If I select that, it takes us into the very familiar WordPress editor, and then you will find that you get your add-ons for recipe card blocks over here. And then you build it out in this way. We leave and we go back into WordPress, and then just under posts, show you the veggie burgers with avocado, green harissa. You also can build it out over here. So your recipe card blocks, you see, bring it in. They are available for whether you are building out a separate recipe or whether you are using it within your block where you take full control. Look here you have your regular WordPress blocks, and as you scroll to the bottom, recipe card blocks, they all appear down here. This is the main area where you will be using them. Exit back into WordPress and let's go set up our widget for Instagram. Click on the Instagram widget, and it's important that you do have an Instagram account with posts. I discovered I had one, but I didn't post anything and it didn't work. But the developers told me, hey, you need to actually go and post something. So I took 1 or 2 photos over here. Currently, you can only connect with Instagram. Log in to Instagram on your computer. And if you're using Chrome, it's going to be easy. And then you click here with Connect with Instagram, and it's going to run through this, ask you, yes, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. I'll allow it. I'm a very nice guy. Push over sometimes. And then you see, I didn't do anything. It just said, okay, there you go. And then after that has happened, click here on select an account, and then you select your account, and it will show here that you are connected. If you get an error, you see, I only have these 2. There's Luca again, because she's actually lying here in front of me. This is her spot in the morning, and she's sick at the moment. A little bit of flu, so the nose was running and the eyes were tearing, but getting better and eating better. So there's your Instagram feed, and this is also a plugin that you can decide if you want to go pro. So if you look here at the design, you see here is pro, but you can choose whether you want a grid or a full width. In my case, I think it's not going to make a huge difference because I only have these 2 images to show you how it works. But let's click up here on the green button, save, and go to the front end because we had that error message at the bottom. And then we scroll down and you can see they appear down here. So good Instagram feed. I would say if you are doing recipes, you have an Instagram feed, right? Because you're constantly there. Hey, peeps, we're doing this, peeps. And you're showing that you should have that there as well. For the social icons, this is a widget. So you can either go into widget. Let's go into the customizer so we can work through that route. And you have it at the top. You can bring it in wherever you need to bring it in with a widget capability. And then here at the top, hover over it and you will see we have the edit. Select that and it takes you into customizing of the widgets. And this is the header social icons. Scroll down and here you will have your social icons area. You can add more here. So if I look what we can add in here, LinkedIn. So let's type and click on the icon, start social cons. Okay, let's say LinkedIn. I always have this fear that this is the one that I'm going to search for something that is actually not there. HTTPS, and I'm just going to make it linkedin.com and apply. And then from here, let's say we don't want, which one? We don't want Pinterest. Sure, all of these are actually social icons that if you have a recipe site, you should be pushing all of them. But look there, our LinkedIn has appeared there at the top. Make your color changes here, but remember they draw these colors from the theme as well. Setting up your mailer integration here at the top, that is with the MailChimp. You'll find that in the navigation sidebar. Would I recommend this site? Absolutely. And for me, it's again simple as getting the tools for getting the job done. There is a tendency often for people that we feel we have to create everything from scratch. The reality is that this has been created to work perfectly for a recipe site. And if that is your end goal, to have a recipe site or to create a recipe site for a client, then come get this theme, go through it, test out the recipe card blocks, and you'll find that you really don't need anything outside this. What I like is everything is just in synergy here, and the developers really thought what is important and what is needed when you want to have a recipe site. Remember to go visit WPZoom, check out Cookely. I hope this was informative, and if you were interested in it, something that you can consider, follow the link in the description below. And from my side, JP, I'll see you then around. Take care.